everyone, welcome to I'm Not a Fan Unless I Have a Podcast. I'm John Hanford, and happy belated Gizmas, or merry belated Gizmas. I don't know. It depends which country you're in, I guess. But anyway, it's great to be back. It's great to be back in Joshua Tree with my new puppy, Clancy, and also her mom. Her mom I am fostering for a little bit until we can find her a permanent home. But yeah, I did the 20-hour drive back from Austin to JT. Um, I guess, yeah, from Christmas Eve through the day after Christmas. It was an experience, and I got to bond with these dogs. So because of all that, I haven't been able to. I wasn't able to adhere to the Tuesday schedule of this podcast, but who cares? We're getting it done, and this episode I'm actually really excited for because if you recall, a few episodes ago, I forget which episode number it is, but I was I had Amber jump on, and she's the one who organized the Gizmas Secret Santa gift exchange. So I got matched up with this guy Thomas who lives in Boise, and holy shit, what a great pairing, what a great experience. Amber, thank you so much for doing this thing, and obviously we're gonna have you on either the next episode or sometime in the near future. Yeah, just because this was such a cool experience. So what did Thomas get me? Well, first of all, got me Kikagaku Moyo Masana Temples, which is sort of competing with the virtual background here, but y'all know it. So that's straight from Guru Brain, their label in Amsterdam. And I mean, this whole album, I mean, just the artwork on it alone is just nuts. On both the front and the back and even the inner sleeve. And Gizz does this too, and that's one of the things that's so fun about Gizz. But just the artwork that they've got going on with Kikagaku is just one of the seriously some of the coolest shit. There's the back of the record sleeve. Seriously, this is way too intricate for you to be able to check it out over just Zoom. But what a cool ass. I mean, shit. There's a goddess playing the acoustic guitar, a unicorn with some mad teeth that's that's playing the keyboard. And I mean, seriously, I never thought I'd say this, but Jason Galea's got to step it up a little. No, but this was just such a cool gift. I wasn't expecting this. I was thinking it'll probably be a Gizz record, which I would have loved too. But yeah, it's not every day that you see Kikagaku Moyo in record stores, at least where I live. Yeah, so thank you again, Thomas. And yeah, so well, this is basically Thomas's intro because he's my guest today. But in addition to that, he also made this pick guard for Fender Stratocaster. I guess he did an oil, or I'm not sure what type of paint, but he probably did some kind of pour over this. And yeah, I mean, it's just a really cool thing, and I can't wait to put it on my Stratocaster. And then what did I send him in lieu of these seriously over the top gifts? I love this. I got him Krungbin's Mordecai record that was released this year. And fortunately, that's one that he was that he had been seeking to add to his collection for quite some time and wasn't able to. So I was able to come through. Anyway, what am I doing? I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Got my coffee going. Brain's running at full speed. I've got dogs. I'm a little loopy, but and I'm just overcome with, just gratitude for how this Gizmas went. And also, since this is going to be the last episode of the year of this shit show of a year. but I think 2021 is going to have plenty more where that came from. So it's going to be more podcasts from me, and I'm hoping to find a way to you know change it up, do something, do something to keep this fresh. Whether it's with this podcast or other things I've got going on. I'm going into the new year with goals in mind, and regardless of whatever situation you're in, I think it's really important to make goals for yourself as well. And make a vision board too. Like that's something I did. I've got mine in the corner. I think I showed it on a few episodes ago, but yeah, it's I think there's a lot that can be achieved if you just find something, even if it's just a thought or a notion, just write it down and just put it somewhere where you're gonna see it. Like, you might find that shit comes true, and it's just a cool little thing. Okay, I'm done being all hippy dippy, but anyway, yeah. So I'm just grateful that this podcast came about this year, and that I've that now we're 47 episodes deep, and that's seriously pretty cool, because 47 was that's my birthday, April 7th. Also 47 is the number that I wear or that I wore when I played competitive softball. So yeah, anyway, 47 is like it's my favorite number. It's my birth date. So okay, now we're seriously getting into some uncharted waters. Let's get right into this episode before I lose y'all. Without further ado, guys, let's welcome Thomas to this podcast.
That one's from Salt Lake on the Rat's Nest tour.
Oh, sick.
That was like, oh man, I think it was only like 3 or 4 days after the album came out, and so, but like my buddy Cage convinced me to, because like I was like skeptical about going to the show at first, and like I'm really glad that I went.
Yeah, why were you skeptical?
Like I don't even know. I was just like, I don't know if I was like in the mood, because I don't think I was like super in, like wasn't like super into the Gizz at the time or whatever, but or I wasn't like I wasn't initially like a fan of like the thrash stuff.
Yeah.
But then like I don't know, my friend was just like, oh, it was only like $30, but we had to like drive, like, but it's only like 4-hour drive, 4 or 5 hours, and so we went, and it was just like a great time. I had like bruises all over my body at the end. I don't like.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, so you were in the pit with the poster.
I was on the barricade, and so I like put it in front of the barricade, and I was like, okay, I think it'll be safe there. But there was understandably a lot of moshing and lots of bodies flying, and I think like after the show I noticed like on the back there's like a blood stain, and it's like, I don't know who that's from.
Ooh, NGRI. Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah, yes. And so it's just like, oh man, it's so funny. But yeah, it's not mine, but like I could barely like move my arms or my body after. It was crazy. It was a wild show.
Sure, sounds like it. Yeah, thanks for so like I started recording just as you started talking about the poster. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, like I do a little intro before this, but
sorry, thank you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I record it separately and then it goes in before, but just so you know what I will be saying in the intro.
Cool. Cool.
We know each other from the gift exchange, the Gizzmas Secret Santa, and holy hell, dude! Like you went above and beyond with with these gifts. Like you got me the Masana Temples, which I mean that's such a good album. Like and just like the inner artwork is incredible. You just got all these stickers out the ass, the record exchange.
Yeah. That's the store I work at, and so I just like wanted to throw those in there.
Much appreciated. They'll go right onto my bumper sticker, or right onto my bumper.
For
It's a
sure.
2007 Subaru, so it's you got to have
Nice.
the stickers.
It's got to be there.
Yeah, the stickers maintain the car's value at this point.
Amazing.
But then also it made this Fender
Yeah, I forgot.
Stratocaster.
I forgot which color I sent you because I had like that one, and then I have another one. And that one, the other one is like purple and green. It's really weird.
Oh, that's
But
cool.
yeah, I was trying to like think of because you have like the sunburst one, right? Is what you
Yeah.
said. Okay, I was trying to think of like what would go good with a sunburst because mine is like just like all white.
Uh-huh.
So I feel like that's like easier to pair that with as opposed to like a sunburst. But you'll definitely have to like show me that when you if you put it on.
Yeah, yeah. I'm definitely looking to put it on. Once I get once I get the guitar set up next,
Yeah.
which I think it's due for. But yeah, and even if not, like because like I did put it on the guitar just to like see how it would look, and it looked pretty
Mm-hmm.
sick. But
Okay.
but I've also been thinking about getting another guitar that I turn into a microtonal one.
That oh man.
And in that case, I would
Are we the
100% put
same
that thing right
person?
on.
Are we the same person right now? Because like
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like
yeah. I mean, like
is that just like one of the stages of being a King Gizzard fan is just
y-
wanting to make the microtonal guitar?
yeah. I mean, I think it's I mean, because it's such a cool thing that they did in the first place. The fact that
Mm-hmm.
they took it upon themselves to go to their luthier friend and just make new fretboards and put them on their old guitars. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, I mean, that just sounds like a really fun project anyway. Um,
Yeah, I wonder like how hard that is. Like it doesn't seem like super hard to add like extra frets, but I guess
yeah,
it's just like where you place them
yeah. I
really
think
matters most.
yeah. I mean, even the placement isn't that hard. Like you just have to get the like you have to get like a fret ruler and everything, and uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then I guess and then a fret hammer to actually hammer the things in. But and
Mm-hmm.
then I would assume you'd also need to make the grooves for the frets in the existing fretboard. It might
Yeah.
actually be easier just to like get a new neck and just like make your own
Honestly, and
fretboard from
and just
scratch.
like install it
Yeah,
onto the body. Yeah.
yeah, it's a bolt neck. It's easy enough. And
Yeah,
um,
that's basically what I did like with my two guitars. I just like got different necks cuz one of them was like super warped. And
oh
so
yeah,
I had to like switch it, but yeah.
nice, dude. Well, yeah. So you mentioned like it took you a little while to get into the Rat's Nest stuff. But
Mhm.
like, when did you start listening to Giz?
I started I think the first one I heard was like a couple songs off Nonagon Infinity, I think. But I think I'm trying to remember like I don't remember exactly when I started like listening to them, but I'm trying to like kind of remember the order of which albums I listened to. It was probably like Nonagon and then like Mind Fuzz probably was next. I love Mind Fuzz.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the at that Salt Lake show, they're like guitar tech threw the set list out, and I just like I snatched it out of the air,
Oh, sick.
and yeah, and so that's the one I keep it in that one, and it's the is it Newberry Comics one, the like half splatter, half solid one or
Oh, okay.
whatever.
I'm honestly not sure of all the different variants. I just got the
Hmm.
I think I got the ATO version, so it's just black vinyl.
Okay,
There's
yeah,
nothing special to mine.
yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a couple dogs over here that
Oh no,
are like,
you're okay.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember the question, but I remembered. So like after Mind Fuzz, oh hello doggy.
Yeah. Hey, Clancy, say hi.
What's his name? Clancy.
Yeah, Clancy.
Oh hi
Yeah,
Clancy.
it's a girl. I just gave her a bath today,
Oh,
so she's soft.
she's
Uh,
so cute. What kind of dog is she?
I think she's a black mouth cur. They're a hunting dog that's like native to the southern U.S. I just got back from Texas a couple days ago,
Okay, cool.
where I rescued her from.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she and her mom, who I also have here, they were just found on the side of the road,
Oh,
abandoned like 2 weeks ago. So then,
oh,
yeah, so my friend's friend took them to my friend's house since he had a garage, and then yeah, like, he posted a picture on Facebook, just like, hey, I need some people to adopt these dogs, and I was like, all right, look at these eyes, Clancy,
What?
show me your eyes for the effect.
Give me your eyes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
she's
I just
such
saw
a
her,
good.
and
Do
I
you know
was
how
like,
you don't know how like old she is or anything?
the vet estimated like at this point she's like 9 weeks.
In weeks. Okay.
Yeah. So like
Cute.
she just started teething.
I love
Like
her. I love her already.
right. So
I
it
have a
was just
soft
like,
spot for dogs.
yeah, it was just like a love at first sight thing. So I was like, I'll drive 20
Mhm.
hours each way.
Worth it.
Totally.
She's probably worth it. Yeah. Um.
But
So
back to
yeah.
Giz.
Back to Giz. Yes. Sorry. So from the Mind Fuzz, I think from that is then when I probably listened to Flying Microtonal Banana after that, and that's when I think after that is when I was like, this is insane. I
Yeah,
love this music.
I mean, and I was the same way with Flying Microtonal Banana. Like that was sort of the album that just hooked me, and I think part of that is just because it sounds pretty hypnotic anyway. Um,
Yeah.
but then like on, of course, on the bag that you put Masana Temples in, I'm assuming that you
Yeah,
drew this.
I did. Yes. Yeah.
I
So
might need to. Okay, there
yeah,
we go. There we
there you
go.
go. Kind of. Yeah.
Almost. Let me just move the
Yeah.
microphone out of the way. There it is. Yeah. So you drew the
Yeah.
cover for it.
I drew that
Um,
just because like so at the record store I work at, we have like a capacity of people that can come in, and so I like we have like a door person, and I get a lot of door shifts. So like I just like for that, yeah. So that was for I think what is that like? What does that say? Like September? Is that the September
yeah,
one?
yes.
Yeah.
Or
So
it was, yeah, September 26th, the record store day.
yeah. So that was the second record store day they did this year, and me and one of my other coworkers just or a couple of my coworkers just like when we're on door shifts we just draw on the bags and then like give them out to people or use them for something. And
Oh,
so
that's cool.
I like to draw album covers on the bags. And so I tried I did the Microtonal Banana one. I have I did the Tame Impala like EP, like the self-titled EP,
Hmm.
and it's like hanging on my wall over here
Nice.
off screen. But yeah, I'm glad you like that because that was
Yeah.
definitely like my favorite one that I did.
Yeah. Well, and so was this also your first year doing the gift exchange?
Yes, it
Yeah.
was. I remember like seeing it last year and I was like, oh, that looks fun. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I try to get my buddy Cage to do it, and Cage is the one that convinced me to go see them live.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Did Cage end up doing it?
He didn't, but I'll get him next year. Hopefully, I can get him next year.
Yeah. For sure. I did catch that, by the way. It's just Clancy over here is chewing up my suitcase. So
yeah. No, you're good.
Yeah,
you're totally good.
But yeah, I so this
Also,
is
thank you for the Mordecai, by the way.
Oh yeah, well I was just gonna get to that. So I got you Mordecai, and then I guess the second part to the gift exchange is coming on my podcast. So you're welcome for that too. And
yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
No, but this was just like a really fun thing to do. Because like also last year I saw that Amber had posted that she was doing the thing, and it seemed like a really cool thing to do, but I was just like, I got so much stuff going on, and like also how those things always go on the internet. It's like you never, like, somebody always flakes out or something, and
yeah.
And it was cool to see that like that basically didn't really happen.
And also because of like COVID and everything, it's just like kind of a toss up mostly at this point. But...
Yeah, COVID I think bought us a lot of time and opportunity to like actually follow through with it. I remember because like I live about an hour away from the closest record store, which I just found out is going out of business. So
no,
yeah, it's a bummer, but it's also in a mall, so it's kind of like long time coming.
Okay.
But yeah, I was just like freaking out a little because I'm just like, sure, we have like an antique record store in Joshua Tree that's that has like a bunch of used stuff that there's really no rhyme or reason to any of it, like how it's organized or anything.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, then I went to this other place that's like an hour away in Palm Desert, and luckily they had like in addition to Mordecai, they also had a few Tame Impala albums.
Mhm.
And then also I picked up a Birds album. They
A
had
Birds album. Which one?
Mr. Tambourine Man.
Mr. Tambourine. Nice. I don't have
Yeah.
that one. I have Turn Turn Turn. I have Younger Than Yesterday, but I think that's my favorite Birds album. Is that
Nice.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, I
Good choice.
yeah, it was I mean it was there, it was $2.
Worth it.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
I mean, and like that's something that I just love about like really any record stores, even though it was in a mall, like just the fact that they had a ton of good used stuff, including that. Come on, don't bump into the table. That's gonna fuck up the whole production here. But
We'll fix
no,
it in post.
yeah. There's no post production. But yeah, it's just cool to see, like, I don't know, just that you can still find records from like 50 years ago for basically nothing, and just stumble upon that stuff. I don't know. I'm just talking and just making a fun point.
Yeah,
But what's it like to work in I'm assuming that the record exchange is somewhat like that. You probably got like a good use selection.
Yeah, so it's the largest independent record store in Idaho, which is a feat of itself, but like also I don't think there's like a ton of record stores in Idaho anyway, but still I think it's cool to mention that. And then so I mean, like, I'm mainly just like a sales rep,
Yeah.
just kind of like on the floor. I like talk like I love that I get to talk with people about music, and just like I like helping them like find stuff. And like I don't know, it's very I don't want to say it's like an easy job, but it's very like it's a pretty like chill, I want to say, compared to like other jobs that I've had, which have
Yeah.
been like the food industry and stuff like that.
I mean, the food industry is just insane.
It's a whole other beast. But like I don't know, I also worked at a van store in the mall during like back to school season, and that was my sorry, that was my only like retail experience prior to that, and that was an experience for sure.
I can only imagine. I don't miss retail at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's fun because it's like I like talking about music and like that stuff, but it's also like it's still like a retail job, and I get to deal with the fun retail aspects of a
Yeah.
retail job.
I mean, at least you got the music, and the music's presumably good.
Oh yeah, and like we have like in the store we have like a play box of like it's usually like new releases and stuff that we like play over the speakers, and we just got the other day they put in KG and San Fran 16.
Oh, nice.
Also, I'm gonna grab this real quick.
Hell yeah.
But they also like we also got these like bags.
What?
I don't know if you can
Oh
see
shit!
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yo.
so like my coworker came up to me and
Well,
like
can you hold it up again, because it might not
yeah.
have caught.
Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah. I just wanted to make sure, because like when this thing airs, like whenever I speak, my face will be showing, and we want to see the bag and the artwork on it, not just my reaction to it. So
for sure. Yeah, I'm trying not to I'm trying not to like look at myself, because that's a thing I do whenever I'm on like Zoom calls or whatever. But yeah, so my coworker came up to me and he was like, "Do you want one of these bags?" And I'm like, "Well, can I are we allowed to swear on this?"
Oh yeah. There's no
okay.
The FCC can go fuck itself. They have no jurisdiction over my podcast.
Yeah, and he was just like, "Do you want this?" And I'm like, "Well, fucking obviously, John." Like his name was John, and like,
well, fucking obviously, John, you can swear on my podcast. It's
yeah, and obviously, John, but like, yeah, and just because like I'm always like talking about Gizz, I'm a nerd. I'm a big nerd, but it's fine.
Hell yeah. I mean, I started this podcast solely because my friends got sick of hearing me talk about Gizz. None of
Yeah,
only
exactly.
one or two of my other friends are like actually into them.
Yeah.
And the
Y-
rest I've totally burned them out. So
we're all online. We're not in the real world. We're all online. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, so
This is my 4chan.
yeah. But yeah, so we got
No,
those in
no Giz
recently.
manifestos.
No. I also got um I also like working at a record store because I get a discount and it's 30%. And
Oh fuck
so
yeah! Oh,
which
that
like
makes me feel so much better about like just like I think Mordecai was like 25 or 30,
yeah.
and then I'm just like fuck, I got a pick guard plus Masana plus
Yeah,
stickers. Ah,
you're okay. I also just like I like to give things to people. That's so like I really appreciate the Krombin album because I love Krombin. Um
yeah, I
but
absolutely love the artwork on that album. Um,
I know,
like
yeah.
because their other albums, it's a little more simplistic, it's a little more minimalist, and then this was just like they were doing, they totally went another direction with it, as well as like on the sound of the album itself, like it was
Yeah.
a little different, a
I
little
think
poppier.
they also did there was like a release where like it was like just black and white cover and then you could like draw it in yourself and I really wanted to get one of those, but
Oh shit,
I
yeah.
also I also spend too much money on vinyl, which my discount doesn't help me with. So
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I also feel like if I were to get the black and white version, I would just have to leave it because like I would just be way too indecisive as to like what I should
yeah,
color everything and whether
yeah,
I should color it.
I would
What
have
if
to
I
like
fuck up?
plan it out beforehand. Absolutely. And that like I'll also if I get up, it's because my record collection is over here, and I like to share. You know, I like to have
Dude,
some.
that's cool. Like I should kind of like this. There's another podcast that I watch occasionally, Ari Shafir Skeptic Tank, and it's just him walking around his apartment pacing like a crazy man
Oh,
because that's what
really?
he is. Yeah, and like it actually, I don't
In
know,
these times,
it
that's what
loosens
I
me.
am.
Yeah, it kind of loosens me up in a way, you know. It's
Yeah, yeah. You know, that's we're just loose and having fun. But um, so like I got a San Fran one, and then I decided to draw on the bag that it came in, and so
oh sick.
again, just because I was bored at work and on the door shift. But this is
Yo, hold
the
that up again.
yeah, this is the Bay
Is
Fog
is there
and
any way you can take it out of the plastic because it's glaring a
oh
little
yeah, yeah,
bit?
yeah, yeah.
Because like I
Get
can
that
see what it is,
get that
but
out of there. Yeah.
yeah.
And then on the back, I wanted to do something on the back, but I just have like the songs on it for now. But I wanted to do like the original idea was to do I wanted to do like the nonagon with like the mind fuzz brain, but I'm like, oh, I need to like practice that. I'm not good enough to just do that on a whim, but um yeah, so I got this like at my store and then I just like drew on it while I was at work. And it's the Bay Fog and Golden Gate, and then I'm also getting the Panhandle one from Flightless, and I'm still waiting on that. And
Yeah,
also
yeah.
the Squashed Brain KG, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'll try not
I
to make this whole podcast about vinyl. So
it doesn't matter. I mean, shit. Like I've had the ultimate final guy, Herbert Hennessy. I did a whole
mhm,
episode with him, and
really,
yeah, pretty much all we did was like talk vinyl, and we talked other stuff too. But yeah,
yeah,
vinyl's badass. Like I've been. I only just started collecting vinyl this year, which is kind of a great year to start. um, just because
yeah,
like I'm home all the time. But
absolutely,
yeah, I mean I picked up I ended up picking up a Tame Impala Lonerism when I
mhm,
was in Austin. I picked it up from Piranha Records up in Round Rock, along with an Isaac Hayes
nice,
album that's used for like $4.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
the Isaac Hayes album I got was called U Turn.
Okay,
So it's just
cool.
like a fucking cool like soul kind of it's mostly a soul record.
Yeah,
But it's grooving and it's funky. Um,
and I've
and
been
it's
trying
just
to
like
like.
it's just like another, you know, I guess like avenue of like my music taste to go
Mhm.
with my collection and shit.
Yeah, I've been like really getting into soul music this year also, and like I'm really into like Marvin. I love Marvin Gaye. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god. But and then yeah, Lonerism is also like one of my like probably like top 10, top 20 albums like of all time for me. Like my
Oh
favorite
wow.
ones.
Yeah.
Like my favorite ones. And so yeah, those are good picks. Very good picks. I want to
Appreciate
get
it,
down
man.
to Austin and just see like I've never been to Austin, but
It's great. I really like it. I was
is it as weird as people say?
no, but I mean, yes, it is still weird. It's just a different kind of weird from how from like the original slogan, "Keep Austin
Mm-hmm.
Weird." And actually, like from what I understand, Austin has just gone through a whole bunch of
Sorry,
changes.
sorry, give me 1 second.
Oh
My
yeah,
headphones came unplugged. Sorry.
whoops. Let's
Okay.
get those plugged
Okay.
back in. But
I'm back. I'm
yeah, yeah.
back.
But yeah, I mean, because like the "Keep Austin Weird" motto or slogan, like that came around, I think, in in like the late '60s or something, or '70s,
Mm-hmm.
when like after Rocky Erickson and and like all of
Mm-hmm.
the psych scene had just originally exploded. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then like it started to get shut down a little. Like parts of it were toned down a bit, and then there's like, oh, it's not like it used to be, and people are bitching about this in like 1975.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it just it's a whole cyclical thing. And like I originally went to Austin for the first time in 2004. And like that was it was still super I mean super legit, weird,
Mm-hmm.
lots of music. Like there was a really vibrant music scene, and like the big industry hadn't really come in yet, big
Yeah.
tech, they were still in Silicon Valley. So
Yeah.
um
Do you like the Black Angels? Do you
love the
listen to
Black
Black?
Angels. Yeah.
Have you seen them like live at all?
Yeah, I actually, what's funny about the Black Angels is I
Mm-hmm.
I first heard of them uh like early 2017 in a suit, like they were just on the stereo in a sushi restaurant I was getting takeout from. And
Nice.
so I just Shazammed the song.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's how it always starts.
yep.
You know, that's how it
And
always starts.
yeah, so I was just like, this is really cool. Like, cause I wasn't really listening to psych or anything at the time. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just like, this is kind of, I like the reverb. I like the surfiness to it. It's dark and I like that shit. And, yeah, then, I saw they were playing in Brooklyn like, a month later. And this when I was living in New York. Um,
Okay.
yeah, I used to live there. And,
Okay.
so yeah, I first, so like I got to see them about like 6 weeks after I first heard them.
Oh wow.
And then their live show just blew me away.
What year was that when you saw them?
It was 2017, so their last album had just come out. The
Oh,
fucking what's it called?
it's not. It's
Death
not
Song.
like Death Song. Okay,
Yeah.
I like that album. I really like Phosphine Dream a lot.
Dude,
Phosphine Dream is
Phosphine
one of
Dream.
my favorites.
I think Phosphine Dream's their best album. That they've come out,
Mm-hmm.
like that one just has so many different sounds. It hits. It's just
Yeah,
powerful all the way through. Um,
yeah. So that's dope. I'd love to see the Black Angels live, but not many
yeah,
people come out to Boise. We're just kind of like a weird like little stop.
yeah.
Come back.
I mean, at least you do have Salt Lake that's pretty close by,
Mm-hmm.
and like Salt Lake is an amazing city. I actually drove through both Boise and Salt Lake this summer. My
Mm-hmm.
friends and I did a road trip to like Montana and Yellowstone, and then we just came
Oh,
back up.
nice.
Um, yeah, it was like this is my friends in Seattle too. So I'm all over the
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
But yeah,
Where in Montana did you go? Like in Montana,
yeah, we went as Bozeman.
Bozeman. Okay.
But like we stopped in well, first we stopped at like a small ass town called Plains, because my
Plains.
friend's
Okay.
grandpa used to live there, and so he
Mhm.
wanted to see what that was about. And that place,
My dad is from Billings, so
oh cool, yeah.
I'm curious. I've been to Billings and like not Bozeman, or I've been to Bozeman and like Billings like a couple times, but yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, I would say of my like of the three cities, Missoula, Billings, and Bozeman. Bozeman's probably my least favorite. It was
I
uh,
like Missoula.
Missoula
Missoula's
was
cool.
incredible. Yeah. I mean, just Montana in general, just driving through it is just unlike anything else. We also went to Big Sky, just to
Big Sky.
drive through it and see what the mountains were all about. And
hmm
but
That's cool. And so now you live in Joshua Tree.
yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that's
Do you
in the,
mind me? Do you mind me asking how old you are?
no. I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just curious because you look young. You know,
Yeah.
you got a
Oh,
youthful look.
I'm
Yeah.
well aware. I'm gonna milk the fuck out of that the more I age. Like it's
Okay. Cool.
yeah. I mean, like my dad, both my parents really got extremely lucky with their youth looking
Yeah.
genetics. Like my dad was ID'd for a glass of wine, when he was 46. Like,
Amazing.
so
Yes. So just
yeah,
rock
I've
rock that as long as
for
you
sure.
can.
Um, but yeah. So yeah, like now I live in the desert because I realize like this place is fucking cool and it's cheap and yeah,
So
it's
like
cool. There's lots to do.
how far is that from like LA and stuff?
Yeah, it's like 2.5 hours from LA and 3 hours
Two and
from
a half.
Vegas, 4.5
Is
from
that
Phoenix.
is that where they do like desert days every year? Is it
Yeah,
in
so
Joshua Tree?
Desert Days used to be in Joshua Tree, and then when it got bigger, they moved it down to Lake Paris, in
Mm-hmm.
the which is like 45 minutes hour away, in the low desert by like Palm Springs and stuff.
So
But
jealous. So I'm assuming you've been then.
I I actually haven't.
Oh, really?
Yeah, last year I
Okay.
couldn't afford it. And the year before I was still living in New York. So
Hmm. Well, I guess
I'm
I think it got like rained out last year or something like that. So
oh
like,
shit, did it?
yeah, because I think like it was like during Tame Impala set, I think that there was like a thunderstorm or something like
Yeah.
that.
Oh
And then
shit.
like and just like imagine like being on like LSD and then like being in a thunderstorm. That must not be fun, you know?
Funny you should mention that because so I saw Krungbin
Yes.
in New York last year. I went back to
Jealous.
visit. Yeah, this was an insane show because like they played Central Park, Kikagaku opened, then Con and Moccasin played, and like I don't really
Yes.
know much about Con and Moccasin, but he seemed like kind of a creep. And then
Yeah.
Krungbin went on, and then like they're about halfway through their set, and in the East Coast, it's really weird, like what the weather does. But like you can see the storm coming.
Mhm.
And that's what happened here. Like, because the storm just started to move in like from the back of the crowd, and
Mhm.
like Laura, like all three of them just stopped playing, and they were just like looking in awe, just like they're just like
They were
what the
just
fuck.
transfixed.
They're transfixed on just a sheet of water that's just like coming at them, and just everybody's soaked except for the very front row because we're just under the awning of the stage.
Just amazing. Is that
um
where you were then?
yeah,
Up front?
I was like up on the rail, and like I knew the forecast was shitty, so like I had plastic bags over my shoes, and I was on acid, so like
Oh, nice.
I was just loving the whole thing. I'm just like because like here I am, I'm tripping, everybody else is soaked, I got bags on my feet, and I look ridiculous, and like the
Yeah.
and just it create like it was a moment with just with the band and the whole crowd. Like nobody gave a shit that they were soaked. It was
Mhm.
it was just like such a moment, because like there was just so much cool energy in the show
Yeah.
anyway.
I love that cuz like in Boise we have Tree Fort. We have Tree
Hmm.
Fort Music Festival. I don't know if you've heard of it,
Not
but
familiar, no.
it takes place in March and it's like an indie festival and it's like like it usually takes place like over like spring break, like
Yeah.
when like BSU and stuff has spring break. Um and it's like largely like indie acts. Like the first year I went was, and this is just like all in downtown Boise, which like Boise has like a population of probably like 200,000,
Hmm.
250,000 people, you know? And if you like incorporate kind of the like all the surrounding cities that are like, within like 50 miles or whatever, it's probably like half a million, three quarter. I don't know. But Boise is like 200,000, and so like I love like it's a super small like DIY, kind of inspired
Yeah.
festival. And the first year I went, the headliners were Angel Olsen, Mac DeMarco, the Growlers, Starfucker. Those are like the ones that I remember. But yeah, and it's super weird because it's like in March, and like March weather in Boise is really unpredictable because like it could either be really sunny and warm, or it could just like snow and be a miserable time.
Oh shit. Yeah. Uh yeah, I mean I always forget because I grew up in Western Washington. And like it's somewhat similar, but at the same time, like Boise is very much like it's more like Eastern Washington and desert y and
It's also
um
like we're in the middle, we're like in a valley, which is like kind of weird too. We're like
oh yeah.
we're like kind of surrounded by mountains, which I
Yeah,
think
so yeah, and that'll
probably
also
helps with that.
yeah, exactly. I mean, because same thing with Seattle. Like it's just basically in a valley between two mountain ranges.
Yeah.
So that's why you just get just loads and loads of rain.
hmm
But
Yeah.
anyway, that the Tree Fort Music Festival
hmm
that sounds sick. Have they canceled the 2021 yet, or
So they were like they moved it back to like September
Mhm.
like when it wasn't a mess here in the United States, but like then it got moved. Yeah, it got moved back to 2021. I think they're trying to do like because like it's normally in the spring, but they were gonna move it to do like a fall tree fort, which I'm all about that. I love
yeah,
that. And they were gonna do like I heard they wanted to do like a fall 2021 and then like a spring 2022. So just like two in like the span of a year, which just like, oh my god, that
or
like
like
blows.
this, yeah, the span of 6 months. That's that'd
That like
be
blows my
great.
mind, and I love that. And some of the I'm trying to remember some of the artists that were supposed to play this year. Like Dumbo Gets Mad was supposed to play this year. Um, Umdu Mokhtar, I think is how you
Oh yeah, yeah,
pronounce his name. Yeah,
dude, that guy is
that guy's
fucking sick.
crazy. And
Yeah,
so like he was supposed to play this year. I was really excited to see that. Like but yeah, I don't know. I mean I love Tree Fort despite what the lineup is anyway, but
I mean,
yeah.
it seems like and those smaller festivals are just kind of cool because then you get to see the smaller acts before they blow up. Really,
Yeah,
um,
so that there's a funny story. So I think 2017, that was the first year I went, and I think who else played that year? Freaking Lizzo. Lizzo played that festival, and I saw her front row on the main stage at that this is my flex.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
flexing right now, but yeah, I saw Lizzo at this tiny little indie festival like outside before, and then she blew up and got nominated for like a bunch of Grammys and stuff. So I'm just
yeah.
like,
Uh,
I was there. She played the flute. She killed it.
that's fucking cool. So I admittedly haven't listened to any Lizzo. I just know that she's like a superstar right now. Um,
Yeah, I like her. I'm on board the Lizzo train.
That's cool. That's cool as
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like that. That's all the reason you need to just go to sport, like small festivals and stuff. Um, and like because we have Coachella that's also about an hour away from here, and
Okay. Yeah.
Giz was slated to play that this year. I was not going to go anyway.
Are you
Like
are you not like you're not a Coachella guy?
I'm not. No, I think it's insane to pay $200 for a day pass.
Yeah.
I mean that's just no.
Understandable. You
I mean,
know.
because like also think about who else you're going to be seeing King is with other people that presumably had no problem just throwing away $200 at Coachella, and like I don't know if
Yeah.
those are people I want to see, Giz with. Like I because when I saw Giz play in Central Park in New York, also last year, I took a separate vacation
hmm
to see them. Um, They
Okay.
this is why I couldn't afford Desert Days, because I decided to go back to
Yeah.
New York twice and see Gizzard and Krungbin, and
I mean, yeah, that's like that's a tough decision, but like that's a good one.
yeah.
I mean, I commend you for that.
Thanks, man. I thought it was good judgment, but
Yeah,
but like when I'm
that
seeing,
was all like one night, like one day,
no,
or
it was Krungbin I saw in June of last year, and then Gizzard was August. So I went,
okay.
I took
I was
two
like,
separate flights,
bro.
two separate whole trips to New York.
Okay, yeah, I thought
Yeah.
that was all one night, and I was like, that's insane.
No, that, I
Like,
mean, that would
but
be like, I don't know,
that would be
on
so
par with
weird.
Gizfest.
Yeah, like, but like, yeah, having those two like just completely like different sounds almost, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but like, but even when, when I was seeing King Gizzard in Central Park in New York, like there were a whole bunch of people there who I guess had never real like, I think they were new to the whole thing, so they didn't
Hmm.
really understand that, like, the supportive vibe and of Gizz. So like people were
Yeah,
bitching about how they weren't playing Rattlesnake, they were just like, why aren't they playing Psy Boogie? And like they did play Psy Boogie later on in the
later
set,
in the
but like,
show. Oh my
but
gosh.
it's just like you have all these people just like bitching about all these different things. They're just like, I don't know these songs, and it's just like,
Yeah.
uh. So that's
Shout
what
out.
that's what I imagine Coachella being like, and I don't want to, fork over that kind of cash when I could just go see them at Red Rocks and in
Exactly. Like,
Berkeley.
yeah, literally I'd rather go like I'm trying to convince my buddy Cage to go to Red Rocks cuz like we've the Salt Lake show's the only time I've seen Giz and like I wanted to they were supposed to before COVID they were scheduled to play in Seattle on 420 and I'm like, "Oh, that sounds like the greatest
Yep,
420 of my life."
I was planning on going to
But
that as well.
oh nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so like I had a ticket to see Tame Impala this summer that got canceled, and so I got refunded that. Bought a ticket for Tame Impala at the Gorge, and now I'm like trying to like convince my buddy Cage to road trip apparently, which is like I think like 12, 14 hours from here to Denver or something like that, or from
That's
here to Colorado.
Yeah, that's not bad. You could do that in a day. Just take
You
turns
could,
driving.
yeah. The longest one I've done is like 8 hours, which I think was to Seattle, but
Yeah, yeah.
like I'm just like, come on, dude.
Dude,
Like we got to do it.
and how old are you?
I'm 20. I turned 23 in February.
You got to take a fucking road trip, man. Like that.
Got to.
That is such a. I mean, in addition to just being a rite of passage, it's also just like it's such a cool. Like I love being on the road,
Hmm.
because it's just like you get on it for a while and you see like on your GPS whatever your destination is, it's like 12 hours away or something. It's like double digit hours, and you're just
Yeah.
like, all right, let's let's see where my mind goes. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
in the time between now and then, and it's yes, I mean, like it just turns into this whole like psychedelic experience, really, because you're just like
Hmm.
basically, and especially when you're driving over like flyover area, it's like some of the
Yeah.
most beautiful shit in the world, really, because it just like makes you just zone out, and you
Yeah.
just get like the
That
coolest. Yeah, like I highly recommend highway hypnosis as a recreational drug. uh,
I did something actually now that I think about it, the longest drive I've ever done was a couple years ago, and a couple of my friends at BSU are like from like SoCal, and so I decided to like road trip with them back, like because it was like the end of the semester, and so they were like going back home for the summer, and so I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, I'll ride with you guys back home, whatever, and it was like 14 hours or something like that,
yeah.
which is rough. It's not fun, but I like fell asleep and I woke up and we were in like Death Valley,
Oh shit, yeah.
and I was like, where are we? And then like my ears popped like really bad, and I was like, oh my god, that hurts so bad. But like you were talking about highway, what is it? Highway
Yeah, yeah,
hypnosis.
yeah.
Okay, I love that term. And like it was probably like what 4 in the morning or something like that, 4 or 5 in the morning, and we were just like we were driving through. We were in California, and we were just like in the desert or something like that. And I put on Led Zeppelin Going to California, just because I was like, that's what I want to hear right now, like
Hell yeah.
in this state. And it was just like, it was beautiful, and it was like exactly that. And I just like, I loved, that was like the main moment I remembered from that trip. And I was just like, oh, it was so like, it was so peaceful. It was amazing.
Dude, it totally is. And like, like I think I've done 5 road trips, or I guess no, like like 5 really long drives in total this year. Like,
Yeah.
going to Seattle and back, and then going to Austin and back. And then I
Mhm.
also drove out to Austin one way and then flew back
Damn,
earlier
like
this year.
what kind of car are you driving?
I'm driving a 2007 Subaru Impreza Outback. It's
Not bad.
not bad at all. I bought it for my
She
mom.
can handle, she can handle the trips though.
Yeah, I mean, now she's up to like 115,000 miles. So, you know,
Damn.
we'll see
Nice.
how much longer, how much longer she'll be able to take it. But, I'm
I'm
hoping to.
driving I'm driving an I'm driving an '01 Civic. Sorry. I'm driving an '01 Civic. Yeah, and it's
Oh,
just
man.
like not slated. It's not slated to make those drives, so I have
Yeah,
to drive in other people's cars.
it's funny. Before this car, I actually did have an '01 Civic, and I drove that cross country.
Nice.
I think, yeah, I drove that cross country 4 times. Um, or
Nice.
no, 5 times.
barely.
Uh, I made it
Nice.
5 times across the country. The problem was that it was uh like it just everything would keep going wrong with it. So like I had to replace the alternator twice, had had to replace
Like
the
on the trip,
transmission. No, not on the trip, but like
or like in
just if
between
eventually.
trips.
I mean, 2 weeks after I bought the car, I had replaced the transmission and it only had 75,000 miles. And then like after doing like all the road trips and everything, or doing 2 road trips, uh, the alternator went out, and it yeah, like I replaced it and still made it work. It's not that interesting,
Cars
but
cars suck. Let's talk. Yeah,
yeah,
that's like
but I
that's
made
what
it
Gizz
to,
sings about, right?
yeah, right. I mean, there's what's Road Train about, like a caravan or
Road.
something, like.
I, I don't know.
uh yeah. Road Train is actually King Gizzard's version of Going to California.
Oh,
It's about taking the wagons out to the gold rush.
oh, okay.
I don't
Different
know.
vibe though. Different vibe.
Yeah.
What's your what's your favorite live album that they've like released?
Oh
Like one
shit.
of I
I
wanted to
mean,
ask you that.
oh, that's a really good question.
It's
It's a hard.
not counting the times like you've seen them live, but just like the
Right,
ones that they've
the
released.
albums. I still always go back to oh, shit. I mean, Live in Adelaide was really good. I like that one because they played Open Water, and that's my favorite off of F&B. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, I really, I mean, shit. Live in Brussels was great. Paris was really good too, because like, Paris, they played Anoxia, and they also did Hot Water,
Yeah.
and
Paris is
um
my favorite one because it just has that like crazy run from like crumbling castle to hot water, and I'm just like,
yeah.
there's no other run like that's better than that to me.
Yeah,
Like it's just crazy good.
I did also listen to their live in Brooklyn 2018, that they put out like a couple years ago. Um
Okay, I'm not aware
and
of that one.
yeah, I actually don't know if that was an official release. I don't think it was an official release. It was released for free, and I think it was just released by a bootlegger who like got
Yeah,
permission to do it. Um
yeah.
but yeah, so like that's somewhere, I think, in the fan page. You can
Mm-hmm.
find a link to download it. But
Are you aware of Mystery Jack?
yeah, yeah.
Mystery
Um
Jack. Okay, he like so King Gizzard played in Boise in 2017, and I'm pretty sure it was like right off the heels of Flying Microtonal Banana, and I literally like they just played in like a bar like in my city, and I literally like I wasn't old enough to get in, and I didn't have like a fake or anything at the
yeah.
time. I got one later, but Like, and I was literally working, like the restaurant I worked at was like right down the street from the bar, and that they were playing that, and I'm just like, oh my god, I want to go so bad. One of my
Yeah.
coworkers said he had bought tickets for him and his girlfriend, but then they didn't go because she didn't feel like going, and I'm just like,
Uh, don't you hate those stories? It's just
but
like you get
I hate
FOMO
those
on
stories.
behalf of them. Like my I have a cousin, or he's my dad's first cousin. He had tickets to Woodstock in like the
Yeah,
original Woodstock.
the OG Woodstock.
Yeah, and then he decided not to go because he saw the forecast was bad. Um, but it was funny because like he was just a deadhead, and so he was really only going to see the Dead, and he was like, I'll see them somewhere else.
Yeah,
He
that's
didn't care
crazy.
really about missing Hendrix or like,
Missing that iconic Star Spangled Banner. That's okay.
oh my god,
That's whatever.
I mean,
But
yeah.
yeah, Mystery Jack ended up actually like recording that show at
Oh,
that bar
cool.
down the street, which like makes me I had no idea until I was just like, I think like I was just like searching on YouTube or whatever for like live Gizz, and I like saw that and I flipped shit. And apparently they played, I think the last song they played was Lonely Steel Sheet Flyer, which I'm just like, you're joking.
Yeah.
That's a cut. That's a deep cut.
Yeah, I mean
Um
that one is I think I even was that the because like I saw Mystery Jack posted a video like on YouTube of them playing Lonely Steel Sheet Flyer for the first time ever. I don't know if that was at that
yeah,
gig or if that's something else.
I'm not sure, but I know like I guess like Stu like crowd surfed to the bar and back during the song, which I'm
Yo.
so sad that I missed that. That would have been amazing. But that's one of the major regrets in
I
my
mean,
life. But it's okay because I saw him later.
yeah, and like because I went to college in New York and then moved back there again for work for 4 years. I missed Giz. I mean, I must have missed at least 6 shows. Dating all the way back to like 2012 when they were just playing for free in McCarran Park, like just play
Yeah,
some stuff off 12 Bar and Willoughby's and like,
that's so cool.
God damn,
Though
like
I
I
wish I was. Oh,
you just see like these videos of them playing and like Eric's just like banging on a drum just because like he only has one and and
yeah,
it's just like you miss that like like I wish that hadn't missed out on that era, of like being a
yeah,
fan
yeah. But aren't you glad that you saw them when they had two drummers though?
for sure. And like that's the
At
thing.
least
Like
at the moment.
I mean, even after like when I saw them last year open up the U.S. tour in L.A. Um, and like I saw them, like Eric and Cavs were no longer facing each other; they were facing the crowd, and I was like, well, I don't like that
Yeah,
dynamic as
yeah.
much. I like them looking at each other. And then
Hmm.
like I just because that's what I was used to. And then
Yeah.
and then like I saw Stu and Joey and Cook come out with their new guitars, and I'm just like, where the fuck's the Hagstrom? And
We
and
want banana.
what about the Rickenbacker? Like what the fuck are you playing
Yeah.
a Fender Jazzmaster for or
Yeah,
Jaguar or
yeah, yeah.
whatever? You know, like it was it was a bummer to me to see
I
them
totally get
evolve.
that.
Uh,
Was that was on like the Rat's Nest tour
yeah,
and stuff like that?
yeah. So
Yeah. So yeah, that's funny.
because like I think it was after touring in 2018 and just like all the sales of the records in 2019 they were able to afford new instruments, so there's like, all
Oh
right,
yeah.
let's
Oh,
just
probably.
I mean because what
Treat
was Joey
yourself.
playing, like a Yamaha or something, and Stewie was playing a Hagstrom that just shouldn't have even been
Yeah.
taken on tour,
Yeah, but I mean
apparently.
like I mean they make them sound good, which like is all that matters, but like yeah, sure. I mean I love like the Explorer, like the Rat's Nest Explorer with like
Me
the all the
too.
like holes in it and stuff.
Yeah, I mean it's also hilarious that the Jonas Brothers play that now. Like,
Yeah.
not to like, I'm sure you
What?
saw that. Like
I
they had
did,
both the
yes.
red Flying V and the Explorer, same model as Stu, like that limited edition, whatever it
It's
is.
just
I mean,
it's such an absurd connection, but it
I,
like oh my
I
god.
mean, and the thing is, I wish that had happened before they bought those guitars, but I'm sure it's just a coincidence. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I like that's so funny. but yeah, I love like were they wearing like the jumpsuits too, like the orange jumpsuits?
No, unfortunately.
That
Oh,
I
oh,
think that
are you talking about
Eric, like the
Eric and
drummer.
Cavs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Dope.
They did that the whole tour. And
Yeah.
because like if it wasn't the orange jumpsuits, I think they also had like some tan or black ones that they wore.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, but
Yeah. I think like, and I'm sure like you've probably experienced this too, but like with like live performances, it's really interesting to like how a live performance can change your perception like on an artist, you know, because like before I saw Giz, I was like, yeah, they're like good, you know, I like them, they're like good, but then like, you know, then they came out with like Planet B, and I was like, what? I don't want thrash metal Giz, ew, like this is gross. And so also like I sidebar. I feel like that was a very confusing time for me because they had released Boogie and then Planet B, and I was like, "There's no way this is going to be on the same album." And I was
yeah.
like, "What is going on here?" But then after like seeing the Rat's Nest stuff live and just like experiencing that in a live setting is like crazy, and it's just like totally changes like how I view like the Rat's Nest stuff, and now I love it, and now I'm obsessed.
Yeah, and not to mention like the fact that they played a lot of those same C sharp tuned guitars. They play a lot of those.
Hmm.
They play those on a lot of fishy songs. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
Plastic Boogie and I think the Bird Song and yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
so and this thing. So like they're able to seamlessly transition from like thrash metal to
Yeah.
or to thrash metal from the whimsical sort of like hippie shit on fishies. Like
Yeah.
I mean, people always talk about that transition that you can make yourself going from Plastic Boogie to Perihelion. um
Mhm. Okay,
and
I haven't tried that.
oh, it
I'll need to
works.
try that. Plastic Boogie into Perihelion?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll have to
yeah.
try that. I'll have to
um
check that out. That's
yeah,
dope.
like you might need to cut off like the last second of Plastic Boogie, where they play like the because like Plastic Boogie just ends on that C sharp chord, you know,
Yeah.
which is then also the first chord of Perihelion. So it's like
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's
Um
so fun.
but it's but like that's what the live performance does is it changes your perspective on how you get to these different sounds from their
Yeah.
other stuff. um
Yeah. What's your how many times have you seen him?
I've I've gotten really lucky. I've seen them 5 times.
5 times? Okay. Which one has been like your favorite like
um,
that you've seen him?
yeah, my favorite I think would have to be oh shit, like the LA show last year was really good because like they played a bunch of new stuff. They played Murder of the Universe live, and then and then they also did the Horology Suite from Polygon Dwanaland.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I think my favorite time seeing them still is my second time when I was on mushrooms and they played the river all the way through. And then since they were touring with Amel and the Sniffers, they ended the show with both bands playing Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. And
Oh
that
wow.
was that was
Was that in New
the
York
yeah,
or
that was
okay.
that because they had played 3 shows at the same venue in Brooklyn, all
Okay.
sold out, and then they decided to cap it off with that, and it was just perfect. um
Amazing.
yeah, not to
And
mention
that was
that was
what year
2018.
was that?
2018.
2018.
Not to mention before the show I ran into Cookie and Lucas, plus a few guys from Amel
Oh,
and the Sniffers and Sublation. I ran into them at this Vietnamese place a few blocks away. um yeah,
amazing. I
I
love that.
had ordered some scallion pancakes for to hold me over during the show, but I wound up not eating them because my mushrooms came up pretty quick, and then they made those taste disgusting, so had to toss them.
Oh,
But
that's funny. That's funny.
yeah, so I
I
got a picture and it was
remember
cool.
that's good. Nice. I remember during the Salt Lake show, it was at the depot, and oh man, it was Orb, Stonefield, and then King Giz, which that was also like I think my first experience with like Stonefield. Like
They're powerful.
They're so good. And like I remember like in between sets, me and my friend would like go to the bathroom and hit our dab pens and like and so I'm trying to remember, like, Stonefield was great. I love them so much. They've also played in Boise like once or twice. I think I've seen them once or twice in Boise. But when they played in Salt Lake, they did the Mind Fuzz medley,
Mhm.
which is like, I love
Wait,
that. That's
Stonefield played the Mayan Fuzz medley,
no, not
or
no, not Stonefield. Sorry, King Giz did. That'd be crazy. But King Giz played it, and I like freaked the fuck out because
yeah,
that was one thing I remember, like telling my buddy. I was like, okay, like my ideal Giz show would have like the Mind Fuzz medley and like Crumbling Castle, or at least like a 10-minute plus song or whatever. And so I got the Mind Fuzz medley, and then they also did the River. So that was the 10 plus one. They also did, I think that was the first time they played Cy Boogie on the tour, which was
okay.
super fun.
Uh, well, they did actually play Cy Boogie in L.A.
Oh, did they? Okay,
Yeah,
never mind.
and that shit was badass.
Yeah, it was great. And I'm like, what are they? I don't
what
know.
did they
And then like
close
some,
with? What did they close the show with?
I think they closed with the River. Here I can. We're
Right,
getting
you
apartment style again.
yeah, of course you
Um,
have the set list.
I'll just snatch that real quick because
Yeah, and show it to the camera too, because like
yes, of course. Um,
nice, just keep it in the Mind Fuzz album.
yeah, just because they played the medley. So I don't know if you can
Oh
read
yeah,
that.
hey, that's nice and clear. Yeah, Cyb. Oh, and they went and they did Akron. Um,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
great.
So right now I'm only seeing okay. People Vultures, Alter Me, Planet B. Yeah, so nice. So they go from Oregon Farmer to the river. That's
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. They did People Vultures, which was also like amazing, and I loved that so much.
yeah,
No microtonal stuff though, which made me a little sad. But
yeah. I
like, also, I'm not sad that I saw them.
yeah, and like I always anticipate or before I saw them last year, I figured every show they would have some they'd have some microtonal songs, but
Yeah,
now like they're officially at the point where you might not get any.
yeah,
And
and
so
it's
like
just like,
two of the shows that I saw them play last year, they didn't do any microtonal. Like they didn't play any microtonal in LA or in New York, but they did
mhm.
in Seattle.
Yeah.
So
So
that was
it's
cool.
it's a blessing. It's just like it's a little gift. Like I really want them, like, because yeah, like Flying Microtonal Banana is my favorite King Giz album. And like I want to see Sleep Drifter live. That's easily like a top 5 song for me. Open Water would be super dope, or like Nuclear Fusion. Just
Yeah,
literally any song from that album, and I would just like die inside.
I want to see Melting because they I think they've only done that live like once or twice. Um,
Yeah, that
and,
sounds so complicated to like pull off live. I feel like it's
I mean,
that song is crazy.
that's also what I thought about like a lot of their songs. Like,
Oh
it,
yeah, yeah,
like I mean, they it doesn't really matter. They're gonna pull it off. Like they can play whatever they wanted to play. I have
yeah,
full faith in them at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, and like it wasn't until they started like work this time into their whole like into like their
Hmm.
rotation that I realized just how good like guitarists they are technically. Like
Yeah,
I mean, because Joey
they're
will just go into that
insane.
solo, and just do this whole
Just
like blues jam that's just fucking sick. He'll still incorporate the little Middle Eastern African stuff into it, and it's just like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean, they're such ridiculously good musicians that you know I don't know. You might not necessarily think they're as good at guitar just from listening to the record, if you know what I mean. because like
Yeah, no,
a lot of the riffs are pretty
yeah,
basic, and you know.
yeah, but like I think like one of my on that aspect, one of my favorite live performances that like I've seen is I love like the KEXP sessions.
Dude, yeah.
And so like I just watched the like the Polygon one the other day. And so and I just like watching them play Crumbling Castle is pretty crazy. Like it's pretty mind blowing that they just do that. You
I
know?
mean, and then that into the fourth color is it just it's such a seamless transition that's just like fuck you guys, that shouldn't be executed ever.
Or like Joey's solo on Muddy Water.
Oh well, I mean,
Or
because yeah, he and Stu are like soloing together. Like it's
yeah.
they're both doing their own thing, and I mean, honestly, seeing them play Muddy Water live is like it's better than the album version. Like it makes me wonder,
Mhm.
like, had they just not figured out the guitar solo yet when they recorded Gumboot?
Yeah,
Because it
like
was just like some weird thing with synths.
it's like almost an accord it's like an accordion sounding kind of deal, but
I mean,
yeah, no, the live or yeah, the live version is crazy.
I mean,
And
honestly, the Muddy Water solo on the album sounds like a whining dog. Like that's like it's just like just like come
I'll
on, just play the twin leads. It's so
I'll
cool.
I'll never unhear that. I don't
Yeah,
think the whining dog um or like the wheel. I think they did the wheel on that one too.
yeah,
And like I don't know, man. Just like that outro that they do, where when they like harmonize, and there's like crazy freaking phaser shit going on, and it just like takes me to another planet, and it's awesome.
yeah.
Um, Also the Sleep Drifter KEXP is just like I honestly prefer that one over like the studio one, and I'll always listen to that one like first.
Yeah, I'm honestly the opposite. I really like
Hot
the
take.
yeah. I mean I don't even I guess it's a hot take. I like the album version just because it's like I love how it just starts up, just like
Yeah,
with that main riff. Um it's cool when they work it into the when they work it into jams and stuff, just like sort of
yeah,
picking it up like they do in KEXP.
yeah. It's
It,
all preference.
yeah. Um
Um,
but I think
Thanks.
in Seattle they did actually play the like the album version
Wow.
on the tour last year, so that
Okay.
was kind of cool to see.
Where do they play in Seattle?
The Paramount,
Paramount. Okay,
yeah,
that's dope. I haven't been there, but
yeah, it's a good,
that's like a popular venue there, I think.
yeah. I've seen a few other people play there. Saw Primus, Rodrigo y Gabriela, and had tickets for Soundgarden there and wound up being unable to go, but um, yeah, it's
Yeah.
anyway,
Anyway,
we got to get to wrapping this thing up. But
okay.
before I let you go, is there anything else that you've been thinking about, Giz related or not, that we haven't talked about yet?
Um, I like I don't know how many bootlegs have you bought already?
Yo, the bootlegs I could not keep up with, because like they announced it on Christmas Eve, which is when I had just adopted the dog.
Yeah,
Um, so like I really haven't been able to fully explore any of that yet. And
yeah.
honestly, with all the puppy payments I've had to make, I might
You
have to sit this one out
you're
and
not
just
worried about it?
I'm not too worried about it because I think these bootlegs will just continue to get made over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
And especially the more that that Gizz utilizes Gizz versus USA,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's going to be a pretty healthy flow of bootlegs to come. At least
Oh
is what I'm
yeah.
telling myself because I don't
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah.
max out my credit cards. Um,
Exactly. It's like not exactly the
yeah,
best thing for my wallet, but
yeah, I want to keep my credit score at that nice 800.
I like because like I bought a teenage gizzard. I think it's like the needle juice one. I bought that one. I bought a Paris one already, just because Paris is like my favorite of the live ones that they've
Yeah.
done. And I'm like okay, Thomas, you have to limit yourself to like one a piece. You cannot go crazy and blow all your money on these bootlegs. And so like but for the Paris one, I'm gonna make an exception and get two because I also want to get one with like alternate artwork. I think would be pretty cool. Um
That's how they get
But
you every time.
that's how they get me. Yeah. And so I don't know, like beyond that, I don't see myself like buying a ton of the bootlegs beyond like the Paris one, maybe the Brussels one, but like I'm trying to. It's hard for me.
Yeah,
It's hard
I
for me.
think
I'm
as
salivating.
I mean, my number one target with the bootlegs is the demos. Um,
Okay.
I think those would be really cool. And I saw somebody got a mock up made of like some eco cool like splatter wax,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like black and
Was
white.
that? Yeah, I saw that one too. I love that one.
Yeah,
Um,
I tried to buy that on my phone yesterday, and then I guess it's because I was connected to a VPN or something. It wouldn't actually let me process the payment. So I figured I'll get to it on my computer, and just I haven't gotten to it yet, and now I don't think I'm going to.
it's just like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? You know, it's just like depends
You
on
know,
how
it's
you
probably
look
a
at
bad
it.
thing. You know, I think after we're done here, I'm gonna go order it.
Okay.
I think I just
I'm not trying to encourage your unhealthy spending because I'm not
no.
at. If I was at work, I would, but I'm not at work, so I'm not trying to encourage unhealthy spending habits.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey,
You have dogs now.
yeah, that's true. But you know, if it means I have to buy them Alpo for a week, so be it.
Yeah.
A-
So
Anyway, Thomas, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Thank you so much for Masana
yes.
Temples, the pick guard, and all the stickers.
Yes, thank you, John, and thank you. I had a great time. I really appreciate being on the podcast.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Thank you for Mordecai. I'm glad you enjoy your gift a lot. Definitely like send me pics of if you get that pick guard on, because I'm excited to see that.
Hell yeah, will dude. And will do, dude is what I meant to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
English is
will,
hard.
dude. Okay.
English is hard.
So hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, man, thanks so much for being on the podcast, and thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you, guys.